Hello Gemini, welcome to your 2017 forecast. It's going to be a busy year for you this year, Gemini, and a lot of focus on relationships, very much this year, and also on your creativity. There's going to be some pointers for your work, for learning. It's a full year for you, and you'll love that because you like a lot of variety. Now the year starts out with your ruler Mercury still retrograde until the 9th of January. And it's retrograde here in your 7th house of relationships. So what I'm going to say to you is just don't expect things to move quickly at the beginning of the year. You might expect things to be a little lethargic, as though, things are just not going. And make that all right. Make your peace with it, dear Geminis, and you'll find you can enjoy it. Because it's a wonderful time for writing. It's a wonderful time for thinking things through. And you may well be thinking through a relationship or two, or even all of your relationships. You may be reflecting, reconsidering. It's not really the best time to have a serious discussion with a mate or a partner or a business partner. Good time to wait until after the middle of the month when Mercury is properly direct. Now the eclipses this year are in February and also in August. By the way, at the end of this video, there will be a list of all the important dates. So you'll have something you can refer to at the end of all the dates that I'm going to mention. So the first eclipse is a lunar eclipse happening on February the 10th. And it's happening here in your 3rd house. So a lunar eclipse in your 3rd house is really asking you to look at what you're doing with your everyday time. Are you running from here to there, as often is the case? And are you feeling as though you're enjoying it, or are you stressed with all the running around? Do you need to make some changes? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to still run around the way you want to run around, but do it in a different way? Do it in an easier way, in a more relaxed way? A lunar eclipse in your 3rd is showing you that maybe it's time to change the way you communicate. Maybe there are different ways of communicating with different people, and you are the artist of communications of the zodiac. But maybe there's a new way that you're going to start communicating that's going to just be more inspiring for you, more energizing. The eclipse here is also a possibility you might be studying something new. And you love studying, you love learning. So there it is, it's all shining a light on that. And you might be finishing up a project. You might be finishing up some studies, finishing something, completing it, and then ready to release it into the universe. On February the 26th, we've got a solar eclipse happening here, joining Neptune here in this 10th house for you. Now a solar eclipse is all about new beginnings. So for you, it's new beginnings in your career, in your work, in what you want to do in the world. Especially with Neptune there, it's time to think about your dreams. What are you dreaming about? What is it that you really want? It could bring you into something to do with a film, to do with the film industry, media, any kind of communications, but especially visual communications because of the connection with Neptune. Very well aspected for you. Now we've got an important retrograde coming up, which is Venus retrograde. Now Venus rules your love and your money and goes retrograde from March the 6th to April the 15th. And it's going to be retrograde here in your 11th and then going back into your 10th house. So in the 11th house, you might be reflecting on your friends, the circle of friends that you've got. Maybe there's going to be some changes there. Maybe there's some that just need to drop off and some new ones are going to come in. An old friend could come back into your life, somebody you've not seen in donkey's years. And it's wonderful, it's just a lovely experience. It's not the best time for new relationships, not to say that you can't get into new relationships, but just remember to go slowly because chances are when Venus goes direct again, you might not feel quite the same as you did about that person when it changes direction. It's like a change of direction, a change of mind, and goodness knows you do change your mind, don't you, Geminis? So it goes back into the 10th house as well. So you might find somebody from your past you used to work with or you knew through work could come back into your life. It's also a time to reflect on enjoyment. Are you enjoying your work? Are you waking up feeling excited, enthusiastic about your day? Because Venus is going to really show you where you're not feeling excited and give you an opportunity to change that. So we've got another Mercury retrograde, your ruler again, moving around. Here is going to be your next Mercury retrograde from April 9th until May the 3rd is happening here, going from your 12th back into your 11th house. So Mercury retrograde in the 12th, a wonderful time for writing, for keeping a journal, for meditations, for getting insights from your quiet time. Really good time to speak with spirit, be quiet, be peaceful, do yoga, anything like that that takes you into a very peaceful place. I've often found that Mercury retrograde in the 12th is a wonderful time for becoming really aware of the breath and the breathing, and for finding ways to bring ease into everything that you do. Because once your breath is in a flow, the body is easy, the body is at ease. When the breath is tight, the body is tight. And then it moves, of course, into your 11th house, bringing you an opportunity for some really interesting new people to come maybe back into your life. Maybe there's been somebody you so much wanted to see again, and there they come back into your life. So we've got another lunar eclipse happening. Where's my lunar eclipse? Happening here in your 9th house on August 7th. So a lunar eclipse in the 9th, this is shining a light on anything to do with the spiritual life, your spirituality. Maybe you are working on something that comes to completion, a project. Maybe it's time to start something new. It's an opportunity to go more deeply into an understanding of spirit and what gives meaning to your life, what gives purpose to your life. It also could be a completion of a court case. Anything legal there could complete at that time or around that time, because eclipses do last for 6 months or so afterwards. So we've got another retrograde happening August 12th till September 5th. Mercury is retrograde, here we go, in Virgo, in your 4th house, and retrograding back into your 3rd. So Mercury retro in your 4th, it's an opportunity to look at your home surroundings. You might be changing, might be moving, you might say, well, this isn't quite working the way I have it. It's time to change, maybe to move in with somebody else, to have somebody move in with you, to be alone for a while. You may need to do things to do with home and family, to have some discussions about some changes that need to take place. Then it goes into your 3rd house. And in your 3rd house, Mercury retrograde, leave lots of time for traveling. There could be changes to plans, last minute changes, but wonderful time for studying, for completing study, for completing a book, for completing a film. Anything that involves the completion of something you've been studying, fantastic during that Mercury retrograde. On August 21st, we've got a solar eclipse happening in Leo in this 3rd house for you. So a solar eclipse here, you might be learning something new. You might be traveling somewhere new. You might be traveling here and there and everywhere. And it could also mean new ways of communicating again, new ways of thinking about things, a new perspective on your life. All of a sudden, things look different. So be prepared to learn and to study something new, which of course you will love. Now for much of the year until October the 10th, we've got Jupiter in your 5th house. Wonderful year for anything creative, for expanding a business that you've already got, for going into business of your own, for getting into a romantic relationship, for having children, for doing nice things with children, but anything that grows this creative spirit and brings more joy and fun into your life, this Jupiter is going to encourage you all the way. And from October the 11th, it goes into your 6th house of work and health and service, really expanding your work possibilities, expanding your ability to keep well, to have more energy, to maybe sleep less and not require so much food, to really fine-tune your health. And also to give more. You'll have more to give. If you've got more energy, you get more time, more hours in your day, less sleep, and you've got more to give. And this Jupiter is wonderful for giving. Beautiful. And final Mercury retrograde from December 3rd to 22nd. Where's my Mercury gone? Here we go. We've got another Mercury retrograde happening in the relationship house. So the beginning of the year, relationships, big focus, and at the end of the year, a re-evaluation, a re-evaluating, redefining, looking at relationships again. Because with Saturn there, some of you will have endings, completions. Some of you will have an opportunity to really work on a relationship and really make it successful, really make each party feel as though they're growing and learning and staying close as well and not alienating one another. So it's got a lot of wonderful potential here. You're certainly going to be thinking about relationships a great deal this year. And finally, on December 20th, Saturn comes into this 8th house for you, where it's going to stay for almost 3 years. So long time period. And Saturn going into your 8th is going to, it could mean that a partner maybe has a few challenges financially, maybe needs to restructure their business or their work in some way. It's a wonderful time for going deeper, for really finding ways in which you can become more intimate, closer with people, not keep them at arm's length. Sometimes Geminis, you kind of get close, but not too close, because you're always busy. Yes, so nobody can get that close to you. Sometimes. Opportunity to go more deeply. And also it's an opportunity really for getting finances in order. You'll be working on anything to do with finances, how you spend money, how you save money, what you do with money. And you may find that you see money and finances differently and from an easier perspective. You restructure your life, maybe minimalizing things, so you don't have to have so many things, and therefore you don't need as much money. It's a great year, it's a busy year, and I wish you the very best for 2017. Thank you to so many of you for commenting, sharing, subscribing. You might like to have an astrological painting, especially for you. You might like to give it as a gift. Yes, I mean, there's all kinds of different paintings that you might want something that is just designed for you, that vibrates for you, that's going to be energizing, inspiring for you. Just a few little examples for you to look at here, because they make wonderful gifts to yourself or to others. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you.